And I hey, I must not need to say that. So, thank you, Holy Spirit. So, here's where I come in with that idea because, setting boundaries, and I get it. If a person is setting too many boundaries, if it does feel like you kind of swimming under boundaries, it's like, okay, can I? Ooh, wait, hold on, too many. I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. Here's another perspective to look at it as: if your spouse, and I'm gonna use you as an example again. Okay, so Daryl frequents our home regularly. He's a regular flyer. He's at the point now where he can go in the cabinets by himself. He can wash his hands, go in the cabinets in the kitchen.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Right. That's how regular he's over here. So that's fine. However, if for any reason Pierre's all of a sudden like, yeah, that's my homeboy, I appreciate it. He can't come over no more. I'm uncomfortable with him being around you in our home. As my husband's spouse, I would respect that. There's something that you have seen, have felt, feel, assume that makes you suddenly uncomfortable with him being present. I have to respect that. I think he like you. I think you like him, whatever the case may be. Okay, babe. That's not true, but I respect that boundary. Same thing if it was for the wife. Babe, Daryl cool and all. I get it, he your friend, but he gonna have to stop coming over as often as he does. Because he's making me a little uncomfortable. He's doing XYZ. He's doing this is that. It's about communication. It's about setting those healthy boundaries. It's about making sense of those healthy boundaries. But it's also about respect.
Right.
If for some reason I tell my husband I don't like this female that you're hanging around, or I don't like this couple, it doesn't even have to just be of the opposite sex. It could be another married couple. It could be a couple of single friends. I don't like these people that you are around. It makes me uncomfortable, the influence that they have on you or in our whatever. Can you stop hanging out with them? Can you keep them at a distance? Can you limit yourself, or whatever the case may be? I talk a lot about perspective with my husband. See it from my perspective. If I was in the car with, going back to the car thing, because the car thing is a big thing. If you're not the driver, you don't have a lot of control, and most women, even behind the wheel, it's a big thing in my head.
Ain't too close to you.
And too close to me. You in my personal bubble. I don't like that. But it's going back to the car thing. So forgive me. I'm not picking on my husband today. I'm just trying to use that as a reason, as a example. If I am in the car with, I lost that train of thought. Anyway, if I was in the car with a person of the opposite sex, and I volunteered them, this is what I was going. I volunteered them a ride. I say, hey, come on, get in, let's go home. I can take you home, or hey, I can take you to wherever you gotta go. Hey, yeah, okay, I heard earlier you needed to run some errands. I can do that for you. Yeah, my husband's at home already. I got dinner already in the slow cooker. He already know to get in. If I am at that point putting my household, my husband, second to this person, that can also become a problem. I like I said, I talk a lot about perspective in reference to a lot of things when it comes to Pierre. And it's harder sometimes when you haven't been in that experience. like the last video that I was in, I have a lot of experience with a lot of different things. The opposite sex is one of those things. And I've been in different situations that lead me to have a different opinion about boundaries. I see things and I'm like, that seems familiar. I don't like it. Get it out, And it's hard when you haven't been through that, and it's hard when you haven't had that experience personally. And that's where you have to extend grace. Okay, you don't understand where I'm coming from. However, just hear me out in this perspective. And in this reason, in this particular sample, I'm not comfortable with you being around that person. Can you not? Question mark. And then at that point, it goes into the respect thing, the communication thing. Why don't you want me being around this person? And I personally feel like if my husband says he's uncomfortable with me being around another man for any reason that's not my dad or my pastor, I'm not gonna question that. My husband don't want me around him. Okay, hey, but that's me on the submissive tip. I am submissive wife. So if my husband says he don't want me around Daryl for any reason, okay, well, next time he come over, I'll stay seen as needed. Going to the bathroom, coming in the kitchen, getting something to eat. I don't want you coming out when he's here. Okay, no problem. I'll stay in the back room, but that's my husband. You don't give that same privilege to a boyfriend. I'm just throwing it out there for any single women watching this, giving boyfriends husband privileges. Don't do it.
Message.
But that's very important to know that. So I feel like I went on too long, but that's just where I'm coming from, and that's a sensitive topic for me. Like I said, we had an experience about that a while ago, and it was a big thing. But I'm thankful we're talking about this, because it's not that I don't trust my husband. It's not that I trust him to be around any woman by himself. Sometimes it's the other person that needs the boundary, but I don't know this other person. He don't know this other person. So now you, knowing that other person, have to create that boundary. Hey, look, I get it. You my friend or whatever. My wife not too comfortable with me being around you by myself, so I'm gonna have to cut this short. If you can find another, in reference to the car ride thing, I got this from my brother-in-law, and I thought it was excellent. Sometimes you can't avoid being by yourself with the opposite sex. However, when it comes to things like rides, when it comes to things like, personal space or whatever the case may be, hey, see if there's another sister or another woman that can help you out. Or hey, is there another brother or another male that can help you out? If you're not stranded, if it's not gonna put me in danger, like a snowstorm or an ice storm or something like that, and there's no other option that you have, all right, I'll help you this one time. Don't make it a habit, but that's me.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that as well. I have this little short story, because it seems like when it comes to men and that particular type of situation, people make it seem like men don't have no control when it comes to the opposite sex.
Oh.
No, I agree with that one. No, for sure. That's why I said I trust him.
Yeah.
Go for it, man. This is
I know you want to say something, but
go ahead. Go
ahead.
This is good. Come on.
Now, I'm not going to mention the church or the name of this woman, but the woman that I had like a small issue with just so happened to be the pastor's daughter. Yeah.
Ooh,
and she was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I just watched from a distance, and I knew the woman was married with kids. But for some reason, when I attend this church service, like every church service, she'd be giving these little nods and winks, and these little not glares but stares. Even when she was talking to a whole group of people, she would come look at me like this, ignoring all of her friends, look at me until I walked away to go to my seat. know what I'm saying? And this continued for like weeks. Every time I go to church on Sunday, this continued for weeks. And finally, I decided, you know what? After church, I'm gonna talk to her. I confronted her about it in private, and it's like, hey, is there a reason why? And keep in mind, I'm a single man. Is there a reason why you keep giving off these like sexual vibes? Like, why you keep staring at me, stuff like that? And she went off topic, talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even attend this service that you're attending, sir. And I was like, oh, so you just gonna lie straight in my face?
Okay.
I was
Wow.
like, and I told her to make it plain and simple. Like, it's not even a big deal. It really wasn't. It's just that I know that you're married, and I know your husband. If he caught you looking at me from a distance, I know he's gonna have a problem with that. So, unfortunately, I had to relocate churches and change to the church I'm at now. Yep.
Okay.
Because I gotta protect myself and protect her marriage,
Right.
so her man doesn't think there's something going on between me and her. Also, I want to say this too. My when I told my mom about this story, my mom, because she had a lot of male candidates when she was growing up, and she told me, she's like, son, you can't control women's eyes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They gonna look. Woman gonna find you attractive, they gonna look. So I just took that in stride. So that's just my little story there. So
Yeah.
I like that.
That's true though, and it's unfortunately, that's women look, men look, but like I said, it's not that I don't trust you or that I don't trust Pierre. It's sometimes the other person, and I don't know, and that kind of leads me back to Matthew, when what is it, Matthew 18:15-19. I actually just quoted this on my social media. JAI lot, in case anyone wants to know. Facebook. Anyways, so sorry, I had to put that plug in there.
Go ahead.
I subscribe.
I'm cracking up. But no, like it reminds me of that. Like if you have an issue with another believer, you put whatever request you have for the Lord, leave it at the altar, and go fix it with that believer. It's kind of, I don't know, I almost want to say it's tricky when it comes to the opposite sex though, because if the woman is married, as a wife, I will go to the woman first. I'm not going to go to your husband for anything. I don't need to be talking to you about anything. But if it's a man, I will go to the husband first. But when it's something in reference to something as strong as your wife is giving me sexy eyes, I need to fix that. It's it's particular because you don't want the husband to believe that you are sexualizing his wife. You don't want to be a tattletale in this situation because it's like, okay, I know I'm uncomfortable with how she's looking at me. He may not see it as a problem, and she may deny it to the highest heavens. So how do I approach the situation? So I mean, in that situation, okay, yeah, I would have went to her. But then as soon as she denied it, I would have been like, all right, well, hey, bro, I just wanted to let you know I confronted your wife. Here's why. And then at that point, any issues or any situations is between you and him, because now you've brought the attention of his wife doing whatever. Now he gets to take care of his wife. So that situation is a little difficult. It's really kind of complicated because, okay, who do you go to in a situation like that? Like Pierre giving me sexy eyes. No, he not. He got a lazy eye. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. He don't have a lazy eye, y'all.
Jokes.
He don't
Yes,
have.
he does.
Okay, I was trying not to bring attention to it because I got a lazy eye too, but it's only when I'm staring at people. But I don't know. I think it's cute. I love it. Anyways. But
My baby.
but I don't know. It's kind of difficult in those situations because it's like, how do you handle it? How do I bring attention to this uncomfortable situation with someone's spouse without it becoming a bigger issue? And I don't know. It's that can be difficult. So I mean, I think that was great how you handled that, especially since you knew it wasn't gonna get resolved, especially talking to her, and at that point it could have escalated further. Just take yourself out the situation, but not every time you can take yourself out the situation. I'll let you talk about it.